Picture a quiet, shadow-lit cell belonging to a devout Orthodox monk. Now watch as a 60-year-old buffoon and his 3 volatile sons barge in, aggressively disrupting the peace. This chaotic family reunion kicks off Fyodor Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. It is an 800-page exploration of God, evil, and the possibility of human redemption. But there is a glaring historical reality about this massive book. It is incomplete. Dostoevsky died just months after publishing it, leaving it as merely part 1 of a planned 2-part story. According to the publisher's diaries, the unwritten sequel had a highly specific blueprint. The youngest son, Alyosha, a pure, saintly novice monk, was destined to leave the monastery, become a socialist radical, and assassinate the Tsar, the supreme ruler of the Russian Empire. Curious, slightly hushed tone. To understand why a devout author would plot to have his most innocent character commit the ultimate political crime, we have to examine a psychological sickness buried deep in the family's DNA. This diagram illustrates a concept called Karamazovshchina, or the Karamazov nature. It represents a boundless, extreme life force. At the top is a gravitational pull toward the highest spiritual ideals and God. At the bottom is the opposite pull toward the lowest, most degraded depths of Sodom. A person with this nature oscillates violently between the two. The father, Fyodor, is completely consumed by the lowest depths. He is a shameless sensualist who knows he is a buffoon and actively takes pleasure in his own moral degradation. His eldest son, Dmitri, vibrates wildly in the middle. He is a former soldier enslaved by his physical appetites, yet he constantly dreams of acting with nobility and honor. The middle son, Ivan, directs this energy into his intellect. He shoots toward the highest spiritual questions, but his cold rationality causes him to shatter. He looks at the suffering of innocent children and logically rejects the terms of God's universe entirely. Karamazovshchina is an incredibly volatile energy. Dostoevsky views it as the raw material of human existence, a force that can drive a person to absolute damnation or be harnessed for total salvation. This extreme energy accurately reflected the youth of the Russian Empire in the late 1870s. Political radicalism was sweeping through the country. Organizations like Narodnaya Volya, a radical group dedicated to overthrowing the autocracy through terrorism, were actively plotting regicide. Dostoevsky was watching this moral collapse while enduring his own private hell. In May 1878, his 3-year-old son, Alyosha, died from a severe epileptic seizure. Desperate for guidance, Dostoevsky traveled to the Monastery to consult with spiritual elders. He channeled his grief directly into his writing, naming the novel's pure, compassionate hero Alyosha after his son. He created Alyosha to be a healer, but deliberately infected the boy with the Karamazov bug, ensuring his pure hero was on a direct collision course with Russia's violent political reality. In the text we have today, Alyosha's spiritual mentor, Elder Zosima, a senior guide in the Orthodox tradition, gives him a strict command: leave the safety of the monastery and go out into the world. Zosima understands that you cannot hide from the Karamazov energy in a quiet room. It has to be actively confronted in the chaos of human society. This order bridges the gap to the unwritten sequel. Dostoevsky believed that genuine, active love requires facing the darkest parts of reality, rather than hiding in innocence. For Alyosha to become a true savior to his country, he had to absorb the deepest sins of his generation. He had to pass through the crucible of political radicalism, violence, and the guilt of assassination before he could find ultimate redemption. Dostoevsky took the final ending to his grave, but the massive volume he left behind leaves us with a sharp diagnostic question. When we are confronted with our own boundless appetites, will we let them consume us, or will we force them through the fire to forge transfiguring love?